promise me you won't tell anyone.
Who doesn't love Honoka? She has a move from every character in the game. She has a good heart, she's Raidu's freaking daughter, she's a great fighter, and she's an S tier waifu. I mean, what is there not to like? Honoka is a 4'11 college student and self-taught martial artist who kicks butt and takes names, who has already become one of the faces of the Dead or Alive franchise, and who I believe can be the face of the Dead or Alive franchise. Dead or Alive has been around for a long time, and Kasumi, who has been the face of this franchise since the very first game, has been amazing. And I don't have any problem with her being the face. But no one can deny this. Dead or Alive hasn't been a big name since 2005. 1996 to 2005 was prime Dead or Alive. It was one of the biggest names in fighting games and in games in general. If you've played the old DOA games, you know how great they are. Dead or Alive 2 is literally one of my favorite games of all time. But Dead or Alive is not a big game in the gaming industry anymore, like it used to be. Heck, it's not even a big name in general anymore. The new games have underachieved, and Dead or Alive is on the road to being a dead franchise if Team Ninja and Tecmo doesn't do something about it. So, what does Dead or Alive need to do to be back on top? Well, me personally, I think it needs to drastically change. If you look back at Dead or Alive 2, Dead or Alive 3, and Dead or Alive 4, other than the graphics, a few more characters, and a different story every time around, what is the difference between those three games? Practically nothing. They're all basically the same. Now, this isn't a problem. Those first 4 Dead or Alive games are amazing. Amazing. But you can't have the same thing over and over again for a franchise to last. That's why when Dead or Alive 5 came out, it didn't sell so well. Dead or Alive 5 basically just repeated those older games with little changes that didn't innovate anything at all. And now we have Dead or Alive 6, which apparently did worse than Dead or Alive 5. Something has to change, and in my opinion, it has to be a big change. But not such a drastic change that it has no resemblance or feel to Dead or Alive at all. That's why I'm asking for a reboot of the franchise. Just start at the beginning and set yourself on a new path and not go down the path of lackluster sequels that will never see the peak those older DOA games did. And if Team Ninja and Tecmo reboost the franchise, what better way to introduce the new world of DOA through the eyes of Honoka? Think about it. A girl who is a fan of every other character on the roster can literally learn new moves and fighting styles in a matter of seconds, and is the daughter of the villain of the whole thing. That right there can already make for a great story. Let me use an example. In a show called Fairy Tail, you are first introduced to a character whose name is Lucy, and through this character you discover the world of Fairy Tail through her eyes. You meet new main characters, the villains, and you see how the world works and functions. That is a great format for a fighting game campaign or story mode, especially for a reboot of a franchise. You stick with one character throughout the story, you see through their eyes how the world ticks, you meet new characters through them, and having that character's own freaking father be the villain of everything could connect all, or at least most, of the other characters in the story all together. Which is what the people behind writing these fighting game campaigns wish they could do. They wish they could connect all the characters' stories into one motion thing. And most of the time, they don't do so well. This format of storytelling would be so great for a Dead or Alive campaign. which DOA needs because the past two games have been underwhelming to say the least in terms of story. And the combat isn't obviously putting DOA at the top again. So, Dead or Alive has to stand out between the other big fighting games, which would be having a great story and campaign because no other fighting game franchise has that. Well, maybe Mortal Kombat, but that's the only one really. And to me, there is no one better in the Dead or Alive franchise to fit the role of introducing a new world through their eyes, a new franchise through their eyes, than Honoka. And if she does become the main character of a reboot game for the Dead or Alive franchise, then she will be the new face of Dead or Alive, which she was already becoming with the games we have now, but whatever. Point is, Honoka would be the new face and the best character of the new DOA. A Dead or Alive that could put itself back on top where it so rightly deserves to be.